So good morning. So nice to see all of you. If it feels okay to start like this, cross-legged, that's fine. But if it feels okay with the feet together and the knees apart, I invite this shape today, just a little bit of symmetry. And that's why a little bit of padding underneath you will be really helpful. And if you do have your legs out with your feet together, you can always just hold on to the fronts of your shins or the outsides of your knees. But what I'd like you to feel for is a lifting up through the top of your head. And we won't be in this shape for too long. It's just a little bit of a centering down the middle. So close your eyes and invite yourself into your Ujjayi breath. Kind of creating this link between the mind and the body through the breath practice. The breath is this uniquely available tool to us that when we focus on it, it really streams the mind. So inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose and allow your breath to move through the throat center in such a way that you can listen to that sound. And contrary to perhaps the way that you sometimes might visualize the breath, can you feel that as you inhale, you're actually drawing breath downward? You're drawing down, the chest may rise, but the breath is actually moving downward. So feel if you can follow that downward movement of your inhalation into the bottom of the rib cage. And as you exhale, feel the movement of your breath lifting up, drawing up. So very simple direction to your breath. Inhaling down, filling the body, exhaling, releasing, and moving the breath up. Let's take 5 more of these. If you can, bring the back of your head over the back of your heart. And also, if you can, start to bring your weight slightly forward in your pelvis, which should actually tip the sternum up. And energetically widen the shoulder heads away from each other. And with the next exhalation, I'd like you to walk your fingertips forward. Let your knees soften and let your head drop down. And from here, walk your hands to the left. We're going to keep going to the left, actually. So it's a slow movement over and beyond that left knee. And then keep going until you feel yourself kind of winding up toward the back of your body. And then you'll bring your left hand kind of right behind your left knee, about a foot, and bend your left elbow and lean back into it so that you can pick your right hand up and take it behind you. Then lean back and start to bring yourself over toward the right. And continue in your circle so that your spine moves over your right knee and back to the front. And we'll do that one more time. So you're kind of just moving from your tailbone in a big circle around to the left, bending that back elbow, coming all the way around off to the right, and then out and forward. And this time when you get in front of your toes, go the opposite way. So go to the right. If you're sitting cross-legged, maybe you've changed sides. Bend that back elbow, come all the way around, and do one more circle this way. I find that coming in to a forward fold from this kind of sideways position allows you to go a little bit deeper into the fold rather than coming straight through the center. So when you get over your legs again, see if you've gone a little bit closer. Walk your hands out, and again, let your head drop. And then bring yourself up. Cross your legs normally, whatever is comfortable for you. Feel for a much wider base now, and take your right fingertips off to the right, and drop your left ear to the left. Then turn your left palm to face up, and bring it toward your top ear. So you're not pushing on your top ear, you're just allowing that hand to be kind of like a heaviness there. And roll your right shoulder head back. Breathe into your entire rib cage. As you exhale, feel for that breath rising up, supporting and stabilizing. Hover those right fingertips, but press them away and down. You can roll the shoulder if you want to, micro-moving it a little forward, a little bit back, so that you can feel into a place that your body needs just a little extra spaciousness. And once you find that space, pause and take a breath in. And with your exhalation, get very light with your top hand so that you can gently turn your head on your neck and look down toward your left hip. And this is a place where your top hand might actually be able to cup the back of your skull. And here, maybe grab with your fingertips and give that skull a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a drawing up. Keep your eyes pointed towards your left hip. Release both of your hands to your knees, and then drop your chin to your chest. As you next inhale, fill your entire body, draw the breath down, feel your sternum moving toward your chin, and pause your breath there in a very light Jalandhara Bandha. As you exhale, release and look forward. Adjust your seat. Inhale, come up through center. Left fingertips reach out to the ground. Drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Take your right palm to face up and bring it to your top ear. And again, you're not pulling just yet. This is just a little bit of heaviness here. Maybe the left fingertips will pick up. And maybe you micro move your left shoulder, kind of rolling it in, rolling it out, until you find a place, maybe a slightly awkward place, where you notice something in your body, something that wants to be breathed. Allow that movement to happen. Pause in that breath. Get so light in your top hand that you can turn your head on your neck and look down. And then crawl your right fingertips to the back of your skull. And now you can give yourself a little gentle pull, a little gentle lift here. Keep your head exactly where it is. Let your hands drop to your knees. Then let your chin roll down to your sternum. Again, Jalandhara Bandha, and we're going to practice Jalandhara Bandha 3 times now. So with the chin low, the spine completely straight, take a full breath in, locking your sternum up to your chin. Shoulders are heavy, elbows are heavy. Exhale, release your breath out. Again, inhale, drawing your breath so full into the torso that the sternum rises. Fill in all directions. Lock. Let it out. And do that one more time. Inhaling, so the shoulders are still upright. Pause. And exhale, release that. Bring your head right up over your heart and close your eyes for another 5 normal Ujjayi breaths. With even just that slight bit of opening across the hips, the shoulders, and the neck, notice where the breath feels different. And at the bottom of your next exhalation, release that. If you're sitting on something, take it out from under you, move it away. Come forward onto your hands and knees. And of course, if you need that blanket still under your knees, you're welcome to have it there. But when you're in your hands and knees position, take your hands just a tiny bit wider than your shoulders. So you have kind of a wide base under your hands. Then bend your elbows and wrap your upper arms back. Push into your hands, straightening your arms so the triceps are energetically moving back. You might notice that the inner hand gets light when you really engage that external rotation at the upper arm bone. So pay special attention to root into your thumbs and the base of your pointer fingers. Kick down into the tops of your feet. And as you inhale, we'll arch our back and we'll pause in this arched back. So kind of like a half of a cat-cow. As you exhale, hold your arched back, swing your left hip to the left, swing your left shoulder to the left, and look over your left shoulder. Stay in your arch, swing your right hip to the right, and look over your right shoulder. So that circular movement we did a moment ago, we'll do it again here, slightly different. Swing your left hip to your left shoulder, look left, stay there, but start to round your spine. And as you round your spine, bring your eyes right between your hands and find yourself in the other part of that cat-cow. So rounded and symmetrical. Then squeeze the right hip and the right shoulder toward each other. Look over that right side. And allow yourself to drop in your belly, drop in your rib cage until you've brought yourself back to center and you're in an arch. Sometimes I think of this movement as originating from the low belly. So you go to the left, round, like a gigantic cement truck here, right? A deep roll. Go to the right, and then let your belly soften toward the earth and arch. Do that one more time to the left, round, go to the right, and arch. Let's go the opposite way, 3 big rolls. Right shoulder and right knee come together. Feel the obliques engage. And then round your spine. Pull your belly button back and up. Move through center until you move to the left side. Hip and shoulder squeeze toward one another. Let your belly soften toward the earth. Find yourself in an arched back center. Go to the right. Squeeze, round. Deep roll here to the left. Let your neck follow the movement of your low belly. So the head is moving with this action, but from the spine, not leading, but rather following. The next time you come back to center in your arched back, pause, tuck your toes under, and take that extension into a downward facing dog. Once you get there, release it, let your head drop, put a little bend in your knees, and stretch your sitting bones back. So you're kind of stretching out the roll. Just 3 breaths like this. Softening at the knees. Turn your triceps down and recommit to the center of the pointer finger base and the thumb. Lower back to your knees as you next inhale. And as you exhale, take your forearms to the earth. So the elbows are under the shoulders. And spread your fingers wide here. Lengthen through your spine. Look a little bit forward so the eyes land someplace in the middle of the hands. As you inhale, kick into the tops of your feet and press into your elbows and shift your weight forward. So you're going to keep your elbows firm on the mat and press your hips back towards your heels. Glide forward, inhale, sternum moves through the arm bones, a little forward and a little up. Push into your elbows, and exhale, go back. Inhale, shift forward. What I'd like you to think about when you go back is not taking yourself into a rounded spine. So only go so far back that your tailbone is still reaching toward the wall behind you rather than toward the ground between your heels. And again, inhale, shift forward. And exhale back. If you'd like to add on to this, you can bring your hands together and up off of the ground. As you inhale, your heart actually has to come up to take your chin over your fingertips. And as you exhale, keep your hands just where they are and press your hips back. So it's basically the same thing as the hands on the ground. You can choose either variation. But with the hands pointing up, you have to lift a little higher through your sternum. Do this 3 more times. Put an energetic pull of your elbows, whatever position your hands are in. A pull of your elbows toward your knees. So you're engaging the backs of your arms and even into your lats, under your shoulder blades. Even as you continue to move, do that 1 more time. Press back. If your hands were lifted, release them to the ground, come forward, step 1 foot back and then another foot back, and balance your way into plank on your forearms. So you'll pause here for 5 breaths. If it's too much, you can lower your knees and go into child's pose. Try not to drop your head off of your neck. Keep your head right in line with the rest of your spine. Engage your glutes just enough to deepen your tailbone toward your heels. 1 more breath here. As you exhale, lower your knees. Come back up onto your hands and knees, and then slide your fingertips back so you're sitting on your shins. Interlace your hands behind your back. You can stay right here and drive your knuckles toward the ground, or you can actually lift up onto your shins and do the exact same thing, pressing your knuckles toward the earth, deepening your tailbone toward the ground, lift your sternum up. So after that work we just did, this should feel a little bit freeing across your chest. As you exhale, release your hands, tuck your toes, and press to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And with your next exhalation, press into your hands a little more. Walk your feet together. Inhale, take your right leg back and up. Lift from the inner thigh. Exhale, round your right knee to your nose. Shift your weight forward and draw your thigh as close into your belly as you can. Then inhale, bring your leg back and up. Again, exhale, right knee to nose, round and curl forward. Push away from the ground. Inhale, reach back and up. Exhale, knee to nose, round forward. The next time we do this, we'll step forward. Reach up and back, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Lower your left knee to the ground. Point the toes. Take your hands onto the front of your right knee, and as you inhale, lift your heart up. Same action at the tailbone, curl it toward the ground and feel the shelf at the front of your pelvis rising a little bit. Squeeze your legs toward one another. And as you next inhale, release your fingertips up and overhead. Anjaneyasana A. Hands come together in front of your heart. Take your left elbow over your right knee and find a gentle twist here. Can you think of your right sitting bone for just a moment and hug it toward the midline of your body? So the front leg is engaging toward that midline. Turn your sternum up towards your thumbs. Take another breath. As you exhale, release your hands to the ground on either side of your front foot. Tuck your back toes under, pick up the knee. Take your right arm up to the sky and inhale, open all the way here. Exhale, release your hand to the ground. Step to plank pose. Tailbone toward the heels. Heart forward and through the arms. This first time, we'll just press it back to downward facing dog. Exhale there. Walk your feet together, lift your left leg up. Inhale, lift from the inner thigh. As you exhale, draw your left knee and round forward. Squeezing the thigh toward the belly, push the ground away from you. Inhale, left leg draws back and up. Exhale, knee to nose, round forward. Squeeze and hug. One more like that. Inhale, reach your left leg back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Turn your triceps back, push into the thumb and pointer finger base. Inhale, reach your left leg up, we'll step forward here. Exhale, left foot comes between the hands, right knee to the ground. Take your hands to your front knee. And as you inhale, gently guide your chest up. Put a little bit of deepening at that tailbone. And encourage the front of your pelvis to rise. So you're not tipping your hips forward, they're lifting straight up. Once you feel that stability, feet move toward each other energetically. Release your hands and inhale, sweep up. Anjaneyasana A. Exhale your hands in front of your heart in a prayer. And bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, turning to the left. Keep that squeeze in the legs toward one another and start to tip your sternum up toward your thumbs. Couple of breaths here. So we're still moving kind of slowly in these opening stretches. As you exhale, turn a little deeper, then release. Fingertips to either side of your front foot, tuck the back toes under, straighten the leg. Keep your right hand down, lift your left arm up. Simple lunge twist. Lean your heart back. Find a full breath. Exhale your left hand to the ground. Push into the ground and step to plank pose. So this time we'll work chaturanga, but you might only be working it at a 1-inch bend, and that's okay. The heart is coming forward, the pelvis doesn't drop, the head doesn't drop. Bend your elbows as much as you can, maintaining the length of your spine. Yes, you might go all the way to chaturanga, or you might just go half an inch, then push back up. Do that 2 more times. Bend your elbows straight back, root into the thumb and pointer finger, and push up. Last time, bend. Heart is moving forward. Press up. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Open your mouth, let your breath out. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose round. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, one-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Reach your right leg back and up, inhale. And as you exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Same thing, lower your back knee. Point the toes. And inhale, sweep your arms up, low lunge. Hands to heart as you exhale, twist the left elbow to the right knee. Turn your heart open to the right. Take 1 breath. Unwind as you exhale, fingertips come down, back toes tuck. Inhale, right arm lifts up and open. Exhale, right hand to the ground, step to plank pose. 3 chaturangas, a little or a lot. Keep your eyes soft and a little bit forward of your hands. So you can really feel the length of your spine is supported no matter how much you bend and straighten. Press back to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, curl in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knee to nose, round. 1 more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, reach up, and we'll step the foot forward. Low lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart, twist to the left. Right elbow across, turn open. Take a breath in. As you exhale, unwind and place your fingertips down, tuck the back toes under. Inhale, lift the left arm up, open into your twist. Exhale your left hand to the ground, step to plank pose. This time, hold the length of your spine, lower all the way to your belly. Take your elbows wide in like a goalpost shape. So the elbows are in line with the shoulders. And you can lower your forehead all the way to the ground. Point your toes straight back and push into the tops of your feet. Draw your tailbone towards your heels. As you inhale, lift your chest just a little bit. Just a little bit. Keep pressing your elbows down. So the eyes are somewhere maybe between the forearms, just a little forward of the nose. Can you keep your wrist unbroken? And from the fingertips to the elbows, straight line. As you inhale, push your hands back. And as you exhale, lower your hands back down. So inhale, the hands press back, a little or a lot, and exhale, the hands lower again. Do that again. Inhale, press your hands back, not from the wrist, but from the shoulder. This time as you inhale, press your hands back and hold. Can you push your elbows down a little bit more and lift your chest a little higher? You have to support this with your belly. So squeeze your pubic bone lightly towards your navel and lift your sternum a little higher. Find that slope in your forearms, pushing your elbows down. And as you inhale, you're going to take off like an airplane. The elbows come up that slope to reach your arms forward, like a Shavasana variation. And as you exhale, tap your elbows back down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, the elbows go forward and into a wide V. And as you exhale, the elbows come back and down. 1 more time, chin is soft. Inhale, reach forward and through. Exhale, the elbows touch down. Now hold them, push your hands back a little more. Press into your elbows, lift your chest higher. As you exhale, release your forearms, release your forehead. Take a full breath in. Inhale, lift up your heart. Exhale, slip your hands back by your floating ribs. Push into the tops of your feet and lift into a cobra pose so your elbows are bent, your knees are on the ground, but you're sending your sternum up. And from there, roll back to your knees, tuck your toes under, and find downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, round it in. Inhale, reach up and back. On this time, I'd like you to bring your right knee to your left elbow. So turn the knee under you when you come forward. Inhale, take your leg up and back. Exhale again, right knee to the left upper arm. Squeeze it in. Inhale, take your leg up and back. Take your right knee to your left upper arm and drop your left heel to the ground, finding your way into a collapsed triangle. The leg goes through, the left arm lifts up. As you exhale, come back to the left hand on the ground. Pick up your back heel and pause. Kick your heels away from your body. So you're getting a nice stretch through the outside of your right leg. The heart is moving forward, pause. Inner left thigh rolls to the sky, just like a plank pose. Turn the pelvis neutral to the ground, so pick your right hip up a little. And then squeeze your knee into your chest. Take your leg back and up. And as you exhale, step your right foot between your hands, low lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, left elbow to the right knee. Inhale, turning into your twist. Exhale, fingertips to the ground, tuck the back toes, pick up the knee. Inhale, lift your right arm up, opening across your chest. Exhale, right hand to the ground, step to plank. Vinyasa, your favorite way, and that might mean cat-cow here. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take your left leg up, inhale. Exhale, the first one, knee to nose. Inhale your left leg back and up. Left knee to the right upper arm as you exhale, wrap it under the body and across. Inhale, back and up. One more like that. Exhale, left knee to the right upper arm. Take it across. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, bring your left knee to the right upper arm, and then drop your right heel to the ground, straighten your left leg, and reach your right arm up and open. Bring your right hand to the ground. Keep your left leg in that collapsed triangle, but pick up your back heel. And we'll be here for a few breaths, so kick your heels away from you. Send your heart through your arms. Pick up your eyes a little bit. And start to square your left hip to your right hip. So the left hip lifts a little bit. One more breath. Hopefully you're high enough here that it's a gentle pull of the knee. Lift up and back, inhale. Step your foot between your hands, right knee to the earth. Inhale, Anjaneyasana A. Exhale, hands through the heart, right elbow cross. Breath in. Breath out, fingertips to the ground, back toes tuck, the knee lifts. Left arm up, inhale. Exhale, hand comes down. Plank, chaturanga. Squeeze your elbows back and in. Cobra or up dog. Even here, triceps are rolling back. Thumb and pointer finger press. Can you keep that press of the pointer finger as you lift your hips for downward facing dog? Take a breath in, open your mouth, let your breath out. So adding on to that same sequence, take your right leg up, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, curl forward. Inhale, reach up and back. Right knee to the left upper arm, exhale, deepen. Inhale, up and back. Again, right knee to the left upper arm as you exhale. Inhale, reach up and back into your collapsed triangle. Take the right leg, thread it through, straighten it, drop your left heel and lift your left arm up. As you exhale, bring your left hand to the ground again, pick up your back heel, kick into your heels and square your right hip to your left. Lift it up, draw it back. Squeeze the heart forward. As lightly as you can, inhale, right leg releases back and up. Exhale, low lunge. Step forward, back knee down. Inhale, lift up. Hands to your heart, left elbow across. Inhale, release the fingertips, tuck the toes, lift the right arm up. As you exhale, release your right hand down. Spin your back heel to the earth and walk your hands off the top left corner of your mat so that your head can release between your arms. Squeeze your right sitting bone towards your navel, then walk back to the inside of your foot and take your left arm forward and open into a side angle Parsvakonasana. Push down into your heels. Squeeze them toward each other and use the squeeze of your legs to tip your heart a little higher. Keep pushing into that back foot. So much that you can bring yourself up into a warrior two. And you're in a pretty wide stance, so your heel to heel alignment here. Turn your right palm to face up, find reverse warrior. Can you drop your front leg a little lower? Can you dip the thigh bone toward the ground, but stay lifted at the front of your pelvis and reach back? One more breath. Get lighter in the left hand, the bottom hand. As you exhale, come forward, place your forearm to your thigh, sweep your left arm overhead. Slowly kicking into the heels, straighten your right leg, come into triangle pose. So the arms open and your heart leans back. As you inhale, reach into your top fingertips, look down, look up. One more time, look down. So maybe there's a little bit of a micro movement here at the shoulders. Look up. Take your top hand and face it behind you. Then reach the fingertips up like you're trying to touch someone just above you. And slowly, from the shoulder, press your left hand back. Just a little bit back. Then bend your elbow and place the back of your palm on your sacrum. Keep pressing the left shoulder back. Take a breath in, and then drop your gaze down. Drop your chin toward your bottom shoulder, and breathe your left shoulder head back, but make it a little bit powerful, right? So press your left shoulder toward the wall behind you, root into your heels. Bend your front knee. Take your left hand back, inhale, unwind into your warrior two. Lift your leg to straight and turn your toes in. Bring your hands to your hips. Pause, drop your tailbone, lift your heart. From your thigh bones, turn your heels in and your toes out, and bend your knees. Take your hands onto your thighs, breath in, breath out, right shoulder tips forward. Inhale to center, exhale, left shoulder tips forward. Inhale to center, exhale, right shoulder forward. Inhale, center, exhale, left shoulder forward. So we're gonna come to center and bring your spine as close to parallel to the ground as you can. So you'll feel your hips moving back, let that happen. Maybe open your arms wide. Imagine your heels pulling toward that invisible perspective line behind your body, that V action. Palms are facing down, elbows are a little soft. Then cup the ground, this imaginary space under your fingers, and pull your fingers a little energetically towards you so your elbows bend back towards your hips. And as you inhale, take your arms wide again. So the elbows are moving toward that same perspective point. Pull your elbows back. Chin is low. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull your elbows in. Now as you inhale, reach your arms in that wide V. Send the arms straight and out in front of you. Pick up your thumbs. Reach a little bit more and drive your tailbone back. As you exhale, bring your hands to the ground, slowly straighten your legs, turn your toes in, and fold. Paschimottanasana. Any variation in your arms here. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, swivel your toes to point toward the top of your mat. Pick up your back heel and step forward. Come up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. All the way to standing. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Drive down into your feet. Exhale, fold forward, softening at your knees. As you inhale, send your heart through your arms. And as you exhale, step to plank pose. Again, cat-cow might be your vinyasa, or you're making something else up that works in your body. Make your way to down dog. From down dog, lift your left leg up, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, round it in. Inhale, left leg back and up. To the right knee, exhale. Twist. Inhale, back and up. One more time, just a simple twist. Left knee to the right elbow. Inhale, leg up and back. Exhale into that collapsed triangle. Thread the leg through. Drop your right heel down and reach your right arm up. Bring your right hand to the ground. Take care to square everything to the earth and punch your heels away. So the right inner thigh lifts, the heel presses up. The left heel, wherever that is, pushes away as well. Bring the knee into your chest, lift up and back, inhale. As you exhale, step your left foot forward, right knee to the ground. Low lunge, inhale, lift up. Hands to your heart, right elbow across as you exhale. Release your fingertips. Inhale, simple twist, left arm up. Exhale, the hand comes down, spin your back heel to the earth, and walk your fingertips off to the right so your head can drop. Push into your heels, hug your left sitting bone towards your midline, walk back to the center, winding yourself into Parsvakonasana. So reach your right arm forward and then turn your chest open. Take a breath here. Fold the back of your heart over your leg. Then press into your heels and come up into a warrior two. So again, you're not on a tightrope. You're fairly wide and stable in your stance. Bring your back hand to your back leg and sweep open into your reverse warrior. Lower your left thigh bone. Pick up the left side of your pelvis. So this is the place we're working. As the left side of the hip lifts up, the thigh bone lowers. Can you breathe into that space like you're shining open a little beam of light from your hip? Breathe into that. And as you exhale, come forward, forearm to thigh, right arm overhead. Slowly, slowly straighten both legs, letting the left hand find whatever place works for you, right arm up to the sky. You're in a Trikonasana triangle pose, the heart is drawing back. Can you expand a little bit more across your shoulder heads? Look up, and then look down. Look up, and look down. Look at center. Take the fingertips a little higher, then turn your top hand to face back. First, pick up the fingertips. So you get a little bit of a lift at that top shoulder head, and then press the hand back. Like you're trying to high five someone just behind you. Only at the arm. Bend your elbow, place the back of your hand on your sacrum. Wrap that shoulder head back a little bit more now. And as you exhale, just tip your head to look down. Full breath here. Maybe the chin even rests on that bottom shoulder. Push into your heels. Bend your left knee. Release your right arm back into a warrior two, but it's like you're floating from the ground up. Then straighten your left leg, and again, turn the toes in. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift up your heart. From this, turn the toes out, heels in. Arms open, heart comes forward, where you just were a moment ago. But a little different on this side. We're shifting from side to side. So straighten one leg, then the opposite leg. Come through center, change sides. You're still driving your hips back. You're still trying to squeeze your heels into that V, that perspective point, but you're just gliding side to side. Couple more times. Let your eyes look a little bit forward of your nose, someplace on the ground, and feel for your shoulder heads widening. Balance this out. Bring yourself to center. Bend your knees and go a little bit deeper here. Hands to the ground, straighten your legs, turn your toes in, and again fold, Paschimottanasana. Any variation, let your head drop. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, turn toward the top of your mat and step forward. Lifting Ardha Uttanasana, fold Uttanasana. Push through your heels, rise all the way up, inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Bend your knees, come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Drive your heels back, drive your shin bones back. Feel for that same place that you were looking for light in the front of your hip crease, so that your thigh bones lower, let the front of the pelvis lift. Like you're opening that space, breathe into it. One more breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, move through your vinyasa, your favorite way to get to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, step your right foot between your hands, spin your left heel down and find warrior one. So push into that back foot, lift up your heart. Exhale, move through vinyasa, step back and lower. So this is kind of like a Surya V. Push into the tops of the feet and go back. Left foot will step forward, right heel spins down, inhale, warrior one, come up. Exhale, wash it through. We'll hold in down dog and stay there for a few breaths. From your downward facing dog, take your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach up and back. Right knee to left arm. Exhale. Inhale, up and back. To the left arm. Exhale. Up and back, inhale. Collapse triangle, thread the leg through, dip the left heel down, press up. Left hand to the ground, square off your pelvis. Pick up that back heel and turn the right hip back and up. Another breath here. Again, using the strength of your belly, as light as you can, as little scrape as you can, right leg lifts up and back. This time, step into warrior one. Come forward, back heel spins down and lift up. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Push into your back heel. Lift into your sternum and start to bring your weight forward. Twist your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Parivrita Parsvakonasana. So I'd like you, if you can have your back heel down, to push into it. And if it doesn't come down, just pick the back heel up. You can do this in a high lunge if it doesn't work with your heel down. I actually find more stability with my heel down, but whatever that is for you, I'd like you to find stability. So push into your feet and use your legs to help yourself twist. Then let your left hand travel down to the outside of the foot, right arm to the sky. Send the arm overhead. Push into the back foot. Let your eyes lift to the right hand and turn your chest open. Very challenging pose. Breathe into it. Release your hands. Warrior one, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Adjust the front foot in this time. Inhale, reverse warrior. Drop the right thigh bone. Exhale, forearm to thigh, side angle. Inhale, straighten your right leg, hand slips to the shin or ankle, left arm comes to the sky. On this side, pushing into your feet, turn your heart a little more open. And we'll go into a full little spiral here. So come forward into Ardha Chandrasana. And you might want a block or you might want something under your hand. But take your left leg up. Treat this as a spiral. Can you keep your pelvis as it is? Look down. Bring your left fingertips to the ground and just square your shoulders to the earth. Just the shoulders. Engage your belly. You might need to bend your standing leg, that's okay. But engaging your belly, slowly turn your pelvis to point to the ground. Then take your left knee into your nose and curl, squeeze. Coming back from where we came, left leg draws back. Pelvis turns open only. Push the heel back. Then release your left fingertips to the sky and maybe look up. So notice that the neck is the last part of the spiral. Look down, left fingertips to the earth, square just your shoulders. Square your pelvis, knee to nose, curl it in. Left leg back, pelvis tips open, shoulder tips open. Maybe the eyes follow that top hand. Step back into your warrior two. Find a breath. As you exhale, windmill your hands to either side of your front foot. Pick up that back heel, and then step your right foot over your left leg for wild thing, turning your chest up and open. Can you push into your left hand? Can you tip your tailbone up and reach the top fingertips away from the heart? As you exhale, come through Paschimottanasana, stabilize. And then bring your right hand to the ground. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Find a breath here. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, curl and squeeze. Inhale, take your leg up. Left knee to right upper arm as you exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach up and back. Again, left knee to the right upper arm, turn and squeeze. Inhale, reach up and back. Into your thread, collapse triangle. Press that back heel down, lift the right arm up. Push into the hands. Square yourself to the ground. So the shoulders and the pelvis, pick up your back heel, lift your left hip and draw it a little back. It's from the strength of your belly that that front foot lightly picks up. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, step forward for warrior one. Back heel to the earth, lift up. Here you are in your warrior pose. Bring your hands to your heart and tip your heart forward. So find the strength of your back leg. If the heel needs to lift, it's okay. I just want you to feel a commitment into that back leg. So if it's down, you're pushing into it. If it's up, you're pushing into it. Twist your right elbow to your left knee. We typically think of, arm balances and things like that as the hard poses of yoga. I find this one to actually be harder than those. You're squeezing into your feet, you're turning your chest open. Maybe, just maybe, the right hand can come down the outside of the left shin. Fingertips can come to a block if the floor isn't there. Left arm lifts up, turn at the shoulder head to sweep the arm overhead. So you're flexing your shoulder. Turn your chest up. Turn your chest up. Eventually your eyes land at your left palm. Take another breath here. And as you exhale, unwind the hand to the ground. Press into your heels. Sweep up into warrior two, adjusting your front foot. Inhale, the left arm comes back, reverse your warrior. Exhale, forearm to thigh, right arm overhead. Trikonasana, inhale, straighten your leg. Bring your arms wide. Look down as you exhale and come into Ardha Chandrasana, right leg up. Squeeze it back. So maybe you're bending your left knee, maybe your left hand is on a block, but you're feeling really supported. This isn't so much about the shape as it is about the series of movements that spiral in. So, good idea to bend that knee if you need it. Take your right fingertips to the ground only. Can you keep your pelvis lifted? And really work to square your shoulders to the earth. Send your heart through your arms. As you exhale, slowly, slowly bring your right hip in line with your left hip. And then bend both knees to curl into a tight little C. Inhale the leg back, tip the pelvis open, right arm up. One more time, maybe the eyes follow up. And then the eyes come down, the fingertips come down, shoulders square, pelvis squares, knee to nose, squeeze it in, curl tight. Inhale, reach it back, tip the pelvis open, the shoulders, maybe the eyes. As you exhale, step way back for warrior two. Straighten your left leg, turn the toes in, hands to hips. Turning to face you. Lift up your heart and fold forward. Paschimottanasana, again, here we are. Top of the head lengthening toward the ground. Can you shift your weight forward into the ball of your foot? So that your sitting bones line up over the center arches of your feet. The shins are pressing back. The quadriceps are lifting. One more breath here. Lift up halfway, then walk your hands just under your shoulders. Press down into your hands. This might just be you pressing into your hands, or maybe, just maybe, shift your weight into your left foot and pick your right foot up, squeezing the heel forward so that the toes are coming toward the pinky finger. Lower the right foot down, square yourself off, and then pick up your left foot. Again, there's that little magnetic tug of the toes toward the pinky finger of the left hand. Then set the left foot down, inhale, heart forward. Exhale, pick up the right foot and tap your knee to your elbow. And then release that. Inhale, spine forward. Last time, push into your right foot, tap your left knee to your left elbow. And release that. Come up halfway, inhale. Turn towards your left foot, hands to the ground. Hopscotch your left foot up and over your right leg back into your wild thing. Right hand pushes down, heart open, tipping to the sky. Find your way into Paschimottanasana. One breath. Hand spirals to the ground, press back to downward facing dog. Then walk your feet forward. Touch your big toes together and bend your knees out to the sides, coming into a Malasana squat. If you have a block, this is where I'll invite you to place your block down on the ground. Maybe it's a few stacked books, that's okay too, but then you step up onto it with your toes. This is a really nice way to practice Bakasana crow pose. So your feet are a little bit elevated, then your hands will come down under your shoulders, your knees will pick up. Deep core strength, the knees pick up. Maybe this is where you stay. Can you feel your head wants to drop? And instead, take your eyes forward. So there's the energy of extension at your sternum, the energy to lift the heart. Push into your hands, shift your weight forward. Don't do this one at a time. Keep your toes together. And if you pick them up, you pick them up together. And maybe you tap down and maybe you pick up again. And maybe you tap down and maybe you pick up again. But do that a couple of times. Tap and lift, tap and lift. And then set yourself back onto your block. Look forward. And step your feet just to the sides of your block. Fold Uttanasana. Move the prop to the side. Walk your feet together. Bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana here. Coming into Parivrita Bakasana, hands to your heart. Left elbow to the right knee. Take your fingertips to point away from your knees. Shift your weight onto the shelf of your upper arms and pick up your feet. So it's a deep twist. You're pressing the ground away. The elbows are pulling towards your belly button and the thumb and pointer finger are rooting. Come out of that and back to center. Maybe you stop at the twist. That's a great place to stop. Hands to the heart, right elbow across. Again, you can stay here, or you can turn your fingertips to point away from your toes, away from your knees, bend your elbows, create a shelf, and lean into that shelf. Pointer finger is pressing down. Come back, chair pose. Drive through your feet to lift up, release your hands. Shift your weight into your left foot. We're coming into tree pose. So as your left heel presses down, the right leg lifts up and into the left thigh. If you need a wall, use a wall. Hands to the heart. If you'd like to play with your balance, after doing a few arm balances, you know it's connecting to the ground, press into that. Maybe, just maybe, close your eyes for a breath or two. Yes. One more breath. Then start to slip your right ankle over your left thigh. Sit back into chair pose. Reach your arms up. Drive your hips back. Let the right toes curl back toward the knees so you're really strong here in your leg. And as you exhale, maybe bow into yourself. If you can touch the ground, start to straighten your standing leg. Maybe take that foot that's crossed higher into the hip crease and fold a little deeper. This is a very deep hip stretch and it's also a balancing pose. But drive into your left foot and bring your right hand out to the side behind your back and to your top ankle, and then fold a little forward. Ardha Bandha Padma Paschimottanasana. You're in a half-bound lotus folding over your leg. Release your fingertips. The good news is we come back from where we started. So you just travel back to wherever it is you were. Come back up and press up and release your foot. Release your hands. Feel the ground under you. Take your left foot up into tree pose. Hands to the heart, or really anywhere you like your hands, it's okay. But you're feeling the leg and the foot press into one another. Use that prayer to lift your spine. If your tree is too stiff, if you've locked out your joints, there is no movement. So put a little bit of softness, measuring your strength with your softness and your ease. Tree pose is such a brilliant posture to remind us of Sthira Sukham Asana, this balance between strength and ease. Close the eyes if you want. And take that left ankle over the right thigh. Take your hips back. Turn the toes back and get really strong in that shin. So you're not pushing your knee down, you're actually letting it come up a little. You should feel that opening from all of those triangle and triangle variations we've done. As you exhale, fingertips come to the ground and you bow into your fold. Maybe, just maybe, catch a hold of that ankle and pick it up into the right hip crease, folding a little deeper. Just maybe. And if you're going into it, the left hand comes around and grabs a hold of that top ankle, folding you a little deeper. Push into the standing leg. One more breath. Not an easy shape. Come back from where you came, so the ankle slips down closer to the knee, back into your chair pose variation, and lift up. Release. Release your hands. Take your feet together, let your knees separate, and sit your hips to your heels. Bring your hips to the ground, back into your Paschimottanasana, feet together, knees out, lift up your heart. This time, rather than having your heels in toward your body, pick them up and bring them forward a little. And then fold. So this is Tarasana. It's more about releasing this band at the lower back than the proper hips. Fold yourself in. Three breaths. There's something nourishing about the symmetry after working the body in so many different angles. Just a simple bow into your body. What an amazing thing this is. To be able to breathe and move your body. And slowly bring yourself up. Take your knees together and roll onto your back. Hug your knees into your belly for a moment. Set your feet onto the ground, bridge pose. Inhale, lift up your hips. Well, this is our first time on our backs. So notice what it is your body needs. Do you need to push into your heels more? Maybe find a little engagement at your glutes. Maybe just soften your eyes. Exhale, lower down. Two more back bends. Maybe Urdhva Dhanurasana, maybe back into your bridge pose. Hug the elbows in and inhale, lift up into your back bend. And whatever it looks like, the heart lifts up. Maybe you have to take an inch away from your pelvis, lowering the hips a little to pick up the heart. Wherever you are, can you press into the place at the base of the pointer finger and thumb? Press it down. And then tuck your chin in and lower if you were lifted, and if you were in bridge, just release and lower down. No counter movement, just saturating into the body. One more time. Hands under the shoulders, elbows in, inhale, lift up. Maybe you walk your feet a little closer. So finding the stability, hug the inner thighs toward the midline, push into the thumb, pointer finger, and turn your triceps in. Really breathe here. Let your head be soft. Press into your hands. And exhale, release to lower. We're still not counterposing yet. Just let yourself soften to the stability of the earth. Slowly, if it's okay to you, bring your knees in. It might just be one knee and then the other knee. Maybe it's both. Curl up into a little ball and roll up to seated, straightening your legs forward, Paschimottanasana. So this is our counter pose. And it's a very deep counter pose. Only go as far as feels good to you. And from here, Parsvakonasana, bring your hands back, point your toes, inhale, lift up your hips. It's a different kind of a chest opener. Still rooting into thumb and pointer finger. I know it wants to get light, push it down, draw your triceps back. Exhale, lower down. I'd like you to choose any inversion that works for you. So if you want to come up to a wall and take a handstand, you can do that, or a forearm balance, you are prepped for that. Or you'll come into a shoulder stand. And by the way, Viparita Karani without a wall is just like that. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you stack some blocks, some books under your sacrum. And as you inhale, maybe, just maybe, you'll bring yourself up. Once you've lifted your hips, choose not to look anywhere except on the midline of the body. Walk your elbows a little closer to each other so that your hands are really supporting your back. Those of you who feel like your pelvis is pretty open, come into tree pose here. Right foot in the left thigh, or maybe cross the ankle in front of the thigh. If you want to keep going, you bring yourself into lotus, upside down, and bring your hands onto your knees. Not necessary. It's just where it goes. And then release and change sides. Step your left foot into your right thigh, or in front of it. And those of you coming into your bound lotus, woo! Hands on the knees, and you press up. Release, the right leg up, the left leg up. Halasana plow pose, toes behind you. Maybe interlace the hands if your toes are touching the ground, and straighten your arms. If your toes aren't touching the ground, keep your hands on your back. Bend your knees around your ears. Release your hands and guide yourself down. Okay, if you were taking another inversion, you'll just meet us on our backs here. Knees into the chest. If you like to take Matsyasana fish pose, by all means do that. I like a spinal twist to counter pose my shoulder stand. So I invite you, if you don't like Matsyasana, to drop your knees to the left and just turn your head to look right. A kind of a gentle release for the throat. Let the right ear soften. And come through center, change sides. Drop your knees to the right, look left. Again, softening that ear. Come to the center, hug yourself into a little ball. Interlace your hands behind your head, pick up your knees. Pause, tap the toes, lift it up. A few times like this, kind of reconnecting to your center. Squeeze everything to the midline, tap and lift. 5. The head doesn't need to be up. 4. Squeeze the knees together. 3. 2. Kind of eking in this little core stabilization at the end here. Pull up, reach your hands forward, squeeze your knees into your chest, get really tight, really squeeze. Hug your knees, lower your head. Bring your feet to the ground. Feel for a heaviness at your upper leg bone, your femur bone, down into your pelvis. So into that hip socket, like you could rest the leg bone. If your low back feels ready to straighten your legs, do that. Shavasana. If not, just keep your feet on the ground. Maybe you rest your knees on each other. Turn your palms to face up and let your arms drop. Let your whole body saturate your practice. It's so simple, connecting to the body. And yet sometimes we just forget how important that is and how effective the breath is at softening the mind. Can you move your mind away from your thoughts and into your breath? It's a choice. It's a commitment to notice what you notice. It's natural, and yet a lot of times it's not easy. So be gentle with yourself. And if you've wandered off, you just kind of check that. And bring it back. So notice how alive your hands are. The prana that you have built into your body. Can you send that to the heart and take a breath at your heart? Exhale it out. Both the inhalation and the exhalation are reminders to the heart in slightly different ways. Actually, it is said that there's a little coil in the kumbhaka, in that pause at the top of the breath and the bottom of the breath, that springs you back to the heart. And as you're ready, bend your knees, place your feet flat. Roll to one side and come up to seated. Bring your hands together at heart center. And again, there's that breath in, that coil spring, breath back. Rub your palms. One hand over the heart, the other hand on top. Pressing it in, take a full breath. Bow into all of yourself. And come up. Hatha Yoga Anushasana, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Here begins your practice. Namaste.